Bus from Brooklyn. So this time I'll give it to Chris to start it off. Chris.
This is easy for me to jump into because...
Let's do it then.
I wonder if we have the same one.
Well, I will start by saying it's all about Lincoln High School basketball because we'll give... Let's give Stephon Marbury credit and throw him out of the way because he wasn't. We should have thrown him. We should have thrown him in like the successful people. But then his cousin Sebastian Telfair came out and was breaking scoring records in Brooklyn, and he obviously did not pan out in the NBA. And then again, so I played high school basketball at Poly Prep. I graduated in 2006. Lance Stevenson was coming on the scene like 2011, 2012, and my brother had graduated, so he had ties to people who were playing against Stevenson in the like Brooklyn area, and Stevenson was supposed to be the next, I don't know, Marbury, or maybe even, they were looking at him, he was like one of the top recruits in the whole country. So I'm not going to call Stevenson a bust, but he has not become, he's just a role player in the NBA. So his expectations, Telfair got cut.
But here's the thing with Telfair and Stevenson. There was no huge expectation on them as much as there was on Marbury.
Telfair was like the 10th pick of the draft, if I remember correctly.
But no one came in with more pomp and more circumstance than Marbury. When he came to the Knicks, there was all of this hoopla about how he was going to save the franchise. He was going to do all these great things for us. He was he wasn't a good team player. He didn't have a great relationship with the media. Didn't play his best basketball in his own hometown. With the exception, if you're taking away his Timberwolves run, he's an average player.
Because people were saying that Suns too. He's a good enough player that I don't think you could put him on the bus. Personally, also he's the greatest player to ever play in China.
The only he's still there.
I think he's still
Ducks,
there.
Not Peking Ducks, Beijing Ducks. Peking Duck is a food.
He was so good on the Timberwolves his first couple of years that people put him ahead of Garnett, his teammate, like as the best player on the team for a couple of years.
It's a bust is because the ceiling for him was so high. The expectation, I'm not saying it's his fault. He didn't meet the expectation that had blown up for him so big. The Starberry t-shirts, he came back to Lincoln. I had the chance to see him speak. He was doing like a motivational speech. He came in wearing a fur coat, talked for 3 minutes after these kids were waiting for 6 hours and just left.
Which I say, it's funny. Marbury sometimes with his media appearances looks like he's got other things going on. But I'd say there were a couple of times where he did things for the community where I thought it was great. I remember the time he went to Coney Island and promoted his sneakers that were only like $20 when sneaker prices are out of control, and I thought that was great. So a couple of times he does, So a couple of times he does do things that are good for the community. I think he was good enough that he wouldn't be put on a bus.
He's a multi-time All-Star.
I'm gonna bring up a bus that you mentioned, Severian. Maybe one of your brothers played.
Taft.
Yeah, Chris Taft.
Yeah.
Apparently your brothers just all played.
No. Joakim.
I know.
I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No.
But see,
joking. Yeah.
So when I was a freshman, Joakim was a senior. We went to Zavarian to play them, and it was Joakim versus Taft.
Taft was great.
You know who Taft was? 7-foot guy, was supposed to be the next, whatever.
He was great.
And Taft dominated Joakim that game. We got killed. We got killed, and like everybody in the neighborhood was there. There was hundreds of people.
Taft was great. You would have known from. And then he went to Pitt. I want to say he was there for 2 years, and his first year he was very good in Pitt. Second year wasn't that good. Went into the NBA, maybe it was like a second.
Golden State drafted him.
Was it a case of injury in college, or
I just kind of lost that, or maybe you know what? He never filled out his body. He was always like he was like a Kwame
tall, Brown. He was very like
lanky. He didn't have the body.
Newt Bowl.
You have if he would fit a little bit more in the NBA now if he had a better jumper, because you don't have these big beefy guys anymore. You have these tall lanky guys who can put the ball on the floor, who can shoot. He wasn't that polished to shoot. He was just a big guy that was dominating these smaller players.
And 7-footers generally don't wind up, especially now. They flame out more than anything. There's barely any 7-foot. Like Porzingis. Look at a guy like Porzingis who's had some success.
He got hurt,
But he's injured off.
Taft was a neighborhood bust because his most famous was probably in Severian.
It was funny because he actually played at Pitt with one of his wait, am I making this up? Excuse me. No, Levance Fields, who played with him at Xaverian,
Okay.
I believe also went to Pitt. He was a year behind him, and they played together. And Levance, it is a true story. I'm not making that up. Levance was phenomenal also. He ended up playing overseas. He didn't get drafted to the NBA, but he didn't have he had high New York prospect expectations, but he wasn't nationally
nationwide, yeah.
Yeah, but the one thing is New York is really, you mentioned basketball being one of the best for Brooklyn-born. We'll expand it for the time being for New York City-born. New York City is really a hub of basketball.